Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another exciting hour of the Universal Wrestling Federation. My name is Jim Ross. I'll be your host for the next 60 minutes, and it's my pleasure and my privilege to have my friend Hacksaw Jim Duggan out here, and we just saw some footage, big guy.
Michael Hayes out here. You know, Jimbo, I sit back, I watch a TV monitor in the back room, and I was just about lost my breakfast every time I watch Michael Hayes. He's out here worrying about Dark Journey, writing them letters and calling them on the phone. Let me tell you something, P.S., prissy sissy. There's a lot more going on in the UWF than letter writing and phone calling. You better worry about Dr. Death Steve Williams. You better worry about Ted DiBiase. And I guarantee you better worry about Hacksaw Jim Duggan coming after the UWF title.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a great hour, and I wholeheartedly agree with those comments. Coming up this week, the very first UWF events in Wichita, Kansas. Kansas City will be there Tuesday night. And don't forget, we'll be in Amarillo and Abilene this coming weekend. It's going to be a tremendous tour for the UWF. And we'll also have some information for you nonprofit groups and organizations later in this hour, so get your pencil and paper handy, as they say. A little bit later in the hour, we'll have that information. Also, this Friday night in Houston, the big two-ring Battle Royal for $50,000, the big fans convention down there as well. And we're going to be talking to Hacksaw throughout the program, but right now, let's go to the ring in our first match. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing from New York City at 235 pounds, Broadway Joe Malcolm. His opponent from Kansas City at 275 pounds, Jeff Gaylord. This match, one fall or 10-minute time limit.
Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, in the Tulsa Fairgrounds Pavilion. A tremendous crowd here for this television taping.
Another great crowd, Jim Ross. That's what I love coming to Tulsa, the UWF. The people come in, they get excited, get us excited. It's a great night.
I'll tell you, this young man, Jeff Gaylord, reminds me of a young Hacksaw Jim Duggan a few years ago. I'll tell you that.
I tell you, Jim Ross, doesn't seem that long ago I had that old football gear on, but here's another young individual who's given up professional football to come to the UWF. That just shows how the UWF is growing.
And we're going to be in his hometown Tuesday night in Kansas City. I know that he is very excited about that. We're also going to be in Glens Falls, New York in the not too distant future. You might want to say hello to the Chief.
That's for sure, Jim Ross. I always got to say hello to the Chief. I'm glad he's up there watching TV and hope to see him soon.
I was here. It's certainly nice to have you here. I know you watched the program. Watching the monitor last week. Michael Hayes gave me a T-shirt.
I saw that. I wonder what you did with that T-shirt, Jim Ross.
It's really come in handy in the last week. I've used it, a little dusting, cleaned a few ashtrays out with it.
I wouldn't mind using to clean my nose with it, tell you the truth.
Jeff Gaylord and Broadway Joe Malcolm here on the UWF. Coming up, we'll be hearing from the Freebirds, also Cowboy Bill Watts and Ted DiBiase. We're also going to see Hollywood John Tatum. Of course, Missy Hyatt will be at ringside.
That's right, but they better keep their eye out on Dark Journey also, because I can tell them from experience, she's not a girl to just give up and walk away. Nice backdrop there. Gaylord, he's learning. He's coming along fine.
He picked Malcolm up effortlessly.
Yeah, that's that 600-pound plus bench coming in hand there. There he is, big power slam.
That should be all for Broadway Joe. And it is. Jeff Gaylord, ladies and gentlemen. A big victory, impressive victory here on the Universal Wrestling Federation. He'll be in Kansas City Tuesday night. And Jim Duggan and I will be right back after this timeout. Bye. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Universal Wrestling Federation. And in this segment, we're going to address a situation I know is very dear to you, Steve Dr. Death Williams.
Hayes is holding him. Wait a minute. Here's Gordy. Gordy's back into the ring. Another clothesline. DiBiase's down and down hard. Here's the third bird. You never see one without the other two. All three in the ring. Gordy to the top. Signaling for the spike. He's signaling for the spike. DiBiase's hurt. DiBiase's down and he's hurt bad, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, this is uncalled for. Referee Ronnie West trying to call for order, trying to restore order. More than one man can do. DiBiase, Dr. Death, Steve Williams is to the ring. There's birds flying all over the ring. Dr. Death, Steve Williams, All-American from the University of Oklahoma, making the save to help Ted DiBiase. The big spear, Gordy out to the floor. Unbelievable, 290 pounds. Terry Gordy hit the floor and hit it hard. Michael Hayes is down. DiBiase's down. Gordy's down. Roberts are down. Steve Williams temporarily off balance. Hit Hayes, ricocheted out and onto the floor. It's all three of them now on Dr. Death, Steve Williams. Terry Bam Bam Gordy, the enforcer. He's going for the, oh no, no. He's going for the pile driver on the floor. No, just like Atlanta 1982. Oh no, this is unbelievable. Where's some help? Someone from the back, please, if you can hear me, please send someone out for some help. Please send someone else. DiBiase's down. Williams out. He's not moving. He's hurt. Oh, yeah, this is terrible. This is terrible.
We have a group of interviews that I think will address the thing very, very clearly. I'd like for you to hear those now along with us, and then I want to get a comment or two from you, Jim, when we come back. Let's see the interviews now regarding the good doctor.
You know, a lot of great athletes have said they're going to come back.
Muhammad Ali said he was coming back and he got knocked out. Steve Carlton said he was coming back and his own home team let him go to the dogs.
Joe Theismann said he was coming back from a broken leg, and I don't see him on no football field.
So, Dr. Death, if you think that you're going to fool all these people,
maybe you'll fool them, but you don't fool us. You ain't coming back nowhere, boy. Because the only thing that's back is the boys. The boys from Band Street are back in town. And DiBiase, it was meant for you. And we're still going to get you if you ever show up or if we can ever find you. Don't you forget that, man. Nobody walks down Bad Street. Nobody messes with the Universal Heavyweight Champion, Bam Bam.
You know, this is the greatest night of my career. I'm here in Dallas at the Reunion Center. Tremendous crowd out here for the Universal Wrestling Federation's first appearance ever in Dallas. We got the greatest talent in the world. Dusty Rhodes won the world's heavyweight title, the NWA World's Heavyweight title. He's here tonight against the former champion Ric Flair. I got the Road Warriors as my partners against the fabulous Freebirds, Magnum TA, the Rock and Roll Express, the Midnight Express, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Chavo Guerrero, Terry Taylor, the Fantastics, you name it, and they're here tonight. There's only one thing missing. That's my friend and my protege, a kid that's almost like my own family, Dr. Death Steve Williams. Steve is what's missing. And let me say one thing. Michael Hayes, you've been talking about Theismann and other guys, how they couldn't make it back out of it after a serious injury. I want to tell you one thing you can make book on. Steve Dr. Death Williams will be back, and he'll be back with a vengeance, and he'll kick tail and Oklahoma stampede you as only he can do it.
You know, for a few weeks now, day after day, the cameras of the UWF have been beating at our door wanting an interview with Dr. Death and Ted DiBiase. Well, I've agreed to make a statement. Doc right now doesn't want to talk to anybody. He doesn't want to see any cameras. He doesn't want to know about anything. He is 100% in training. I'll tell you this, though. The happiest day of Doc's life since he got hurt was when he found out that the UWF decided not to suspend the Freebirds, because that told us both one thing. We know right where to find them. And as far as Doc is concerned, he's not going to say anything. He's not got anything to say until the bell rings. And when the bell rings, there's going to be hell to be paid. There's one thing on our mind. 3 individuals, the Freebirds. They think they've been down Bad Street. All you people in the UWF know Dr. Death and Steve Williams and Ted DiBiase. You know our history, you know our past. Like my song says, I don't give a damn about my bad reputation. Whatever it takes, we have run people out of here. We have walked over people in the past. You're going to get a taste, Freebirds, of the old Dr. Death, the old Ted DiBiase, the Dr. Death and Ted DiBiase that people feared. 'Cause, brother, what goes around comes around, and it's coming back real soon.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there are 3 opinions regarding Steve Dr. Death Williams. I got to believe, along with Cowboy Bill Watts and Ted DiBiase, that Steve Williams will be back.
Well, I know Steve Williams probably better than anyone in professional wrestling. I lived with the guy. I battled with the guy. I partied with the man. I've been with him in some hard times when he lost someone very dear to him, his dad. We went on each other's shoulders, we cried, and we held each other because we've got something close. When I looked in that man's eye and he said, Jim, he said, Hacksaw, I'm coming back. I'm paying my debt. I'm paying my dues. I believe him, Jim Ross, and I know you do too.
Exactly right, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot wait for Steve Dr. Death Williams' return. Freebirds, beware. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with Hollywood John Tatum and Missy Hyatt against Bret Wayne Sawyer right after this. Time out.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing, accompanied by Missy Hyatt, at 240 pounds, Hollywood John Tatum. His opponent from St. Petersburg, Florida, at 220 pounds, Bret Wayne Sawyer. This match is 1 fall or 10-minute time limit.
Well, there you see a very controversial pair, and I'm talking about Tatum and Hyatt.
I understand that, Jim Ross.
That pair.
You know, he's a great athlete on his own, but he got his girl out there, his valet. I can tell him from experience, that's a bad move. A woman's place is not out there in the ring.
Hollywood John Tatum, and this young lady has a lot of money. She's a spoiled rich girl. There's no doubt about that, and I'm not being chauvinistic, ladies, so please don't misinterpret that. But I agree with Jim Duggan. Her place, I'm not saying where her place is, but it is not at ringside during a wrestling match.
No, sir, not at all, Jimbo. And I want to keep my composure here. I probably promised the UWF that I would be cool, stay up here and not turn this place into a toothpick factory. So I want to stay right here, sitting down next to you, Jimbo.
I appreciate that attitude. Action is fast here on the UWF, ladies and gentlemen. Bret Sawyer is lightning quick, and Sawyer was setting for that drop kick. You could almost sense it, and I think John Tatum did likewise, and now Tatum is crying that his tights were pulled.
That's Sawyer. He's excited. He's like a little fireball out there, and I tell you, that drop kick, one of the best in all of wrestling.
Missy's not real excited about what has happened thus far to her man, John. Missy Hyatt now aligning herself with Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, and the feature that I did last week, I really don't think that Hollywood John's too excited about another man, even though it's professionally in their life.
Well, I tell you, they better get their minds on business, because this is UWF. This is the toughest wrestling in the world. This is where the people come to prove themselves. If you got something else on your mind, you're going to be in trouble.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, coming up right here on the UWF, the Fantastics put the tag titles on the line. It is a crossroads for Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, his partner Sting. The belts, the championship on the line right here on television coming up next.
Well, you can see old Missy doesn't like the crowd there. They're chanting, "We want Journey," and she's getting a little excited about that.
She'll get a lot more excited about it if Dark Journey can ever get her one-on-one just for a little while. I don't think it's going to take long.
Well, I'll tell you what, when that happens, I'm going to bring my chair and sit down ringside and check that out myself, because that promises to be something you won't forget.
Missy is a very attractive young lady, but that's really beside the point. It's her attitude that I think is really stuck in the craw of most fans in the UWF.
Well, you got to give Sawyer credit. No matter what else goes on, he keeps himself straight. He works, he keeps going, and he's got some moves coming here. Look at that.
Flying body press by Sawyer. Tatum kicked out. Referee Carl Fergie down very quickly to make the count. And John is, I think Tatum's one of those guys that's, look at the expression there, a little bit easy to frustrate.
It seems to be, man. He's always looking for a way to shortcut, something to complain about. Sawyer's just going to keep his mind on business. That crowd's still chanting, "They want Journey." I'm sure they'll see it before it's all over here.
We're also going to have an encore presentation of The Boys Are Back in Town, and also in the hour, Koko Ware, the Birdman from Union City, Tennessee, will be flying against Kamala, and I understand you're going to be at ringside in that matchup.
I tell you what, Skandar Akbar is not happy with me, but I'm not happy with him. He's got the one-man gang, which I haven't forgot about what happened in Houston, Texas, when they almost put me out of wrestling with a fractured skull. But that's a whole different story. Right now, we want to concentrate on John Tatum here.
Tatum off the second rope. And Tatum now has things going his way with Bret Sawyer, and that nonchalant, arrogant pinning attempt by Tatum. Sawyer's a fighter. Now she's instructing him how to wrestle, which I find somewhat appalling.
Well, somebody like Sawyer, you just can't get up on top of him and celebrate. You got to hook that man, because he doesn't give up, and he's not going to quit.
Tatum catching Sawyer coming off the ropes with that kick. Hollywood John now back on the second rope with a fist right to the back of the head, and now he struts around the ring as if he has really accomplished something. And
she's happy with it.
She's happy, huh? Well, as you said, Dark Journey just may have something in store for Missy that Missy will never forget.
Ooh, whoa.
Good snap suplex by John Tatum. Now look at him. He's telling the referee it's over. Just count.
Oh, I'm surprised to see Sawyer kick out of that. Well, that was a great suplex. That just goes to show you what Sawyer's made out of. He ain't going to lay down. He ain't going to quit. My kind of guy. A tough guy. Boom.
Bret Sawyer exploding on Hollywood John Tatum. Sawyer the flying elbow. This could be it for Hollywood John.
Oh, the little trunks there, Jimbo.
Sure did. A little added leverage there by Tatum.
There's that drop kick.
Pinning for
Now, what's going on here?
How can you keep your mind on your business with her walking around?
Ringside, up there on the apron. That's not where she belongs. Now, Sawyer, he's going to be a gentleman here, maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Look out. Ah.
Well, she accomplished what she set out to do.
Makes me sick.
Premeditated obstruction, and Tatum seizing the moment. He's an opportunist. Hollywood John Tatum with a victory. Jimbo, I know you got to get ready for your matchup with being at ringside with Koko, where I sincerely appreciate you being here with us.
It was great, Jimbo. It was great to be out here. It's a lot of fun. I thought it was a little different the way Hayes is always out here combing his hair. I thought there was a big mirror out here or something. But it's fun. I'm looking forward to doing it again with you, Jimbo.
So am I. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. The UWF tag titles on the line when we return.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next match for the UWF Tag Team Championship. Introducing first the challengers at 229 pounds from Jackson, Tennessee, from every girl's dream, hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert. And at 270 pounds, Sting.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Hayes has joined me, and the Fantastics are making their way to the ring. But the interesting part about this is that right there, Massey and John Tatum and their new association with Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
Well, we seen the feature last week. We thought Hot Stuff, if you ask me, this is his last chance. I mean, if he don't get it now, he's never going to get it. He's gone to teaming up with Massey. They formed a corporation, Hollywood John Tatum, him and his boys, Sting and the rest. And this is very interesting. And of course, a title match nowhere but right here on the UWF. And thank goodness I came along to save the show. That illiterate, stupid Duggan, you know, it used to bother me when he used to hang out with us because I'd be talking to broads and he'd come home and he'd say, hey, my name's Jim, and ruin everything because he's so stupid.
Well, thought he looked pretty sharp. Nice new T-shirt.
Yeah. Thought he looked pretty sharp. Nice new T-shirt. How can he look sharp with a face like that?
Well, I know that our ratings, I'm sure our ratings weren't affected by Hacksaw Duggan being here.
Hey, your ratings will drop tremendously if you don't have PS on the show, Daddy. How do you think this has become the biggest show, syndicated sports show, not just wrestling, sports show, bar any in the world? Ever since the Freebirds came here.
We're trying to say that we think channels were changing all over the country when Duggan was on.
Oh, of course, man. They look at all the women want to see PS and they see, dumb Jim Duggan. A New York Yankee dummy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, we want to welcome the fans in Chicago, Philadelphia, Miami, Florida, and all points in between.
Yeah, I got some family that's got a produce store, Fresh Approach, up there in Philadelphia. I'd like to say hello to them, and I hope that y'all sell the store and get back down south where y'all belong.
Ladies and gentlemen, now entering the ring, the current UWF Tag Team Champions, the combined weight of 420 pounds, Tommy Rogers and Bobby Fulton, the Fantastics.
Well, ladies, this match is for the UWF Tag Team titles, and I think another interesting point here is that Tommy Gilbert has requested that matchmaker Grizzly Smith allow him to officiate this match. I think Grizzly did hesitantly because of the emotional strain it's going to put on Tommy Gilbert, but he said that after what Eddie's done and what he's gone through, he thought he was going to have a change of heart. But he's not going to change. He's not going to change at all.
Well, Eddie Gilbert is a man of his word, and I'm proud to see that he did not bury under to bureaucracy or his parenthoods, anything like that, man. If you're going to be a man, stand up, walk your own path, and you got to walk it alone. And now Gilbert, he's belly under to bureaucracy. Now, here they go. Making silly chants. They want Dark Journey out here. That broad, I've about had it with her. Did you see the twinkle in her eye when I kissed her last week? No, she ain't playing hard to get.
I missed that.
Oh, come on.
I saw I thought there might be a twinkle in your face after she nailed you.
Hey, don't get smart with me.
Second time.
Don't get smart.
I'm just stating the facts, Michael. You state the facts.
Well, let's state this fact. I'm a lot bigger than you, and don't you forget it, okay?
That point is well noted. Well noted. And speaking of size, ladies and gentlemen.
Speaking of big.
The Fantastics may not be the biggest tag team in wrestling, but they certainly are at the top of the heap right now because they are the reigning UWF Tag Team Champions.
Well, I've said it before, I'll say it again without trying to sound repetitious. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. Eddie Gilbert is also a perfect example of this, like Bret Sawyer. Here's a fast-moving man. What a move! They crisscross. Fulton was going to go for a hip toss. Gilbert was smart enough to hold on the rope, so Fulton nails it with the right hand. The crowd goes crazy. If Eddie was to use the right hand, they'd be screaming for a disqualification.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the encore presentation of The Boys Are Back in Town coming up.
That's right, man. You know, everybody's requesting, where can we buy the record? The record will be out in about 4 weeks for your purchase. Everybody loved the video. MTV's bothering me. All these record companies, forget it. Grand Theft Records owns me and the Freebirds as far as musically goes, and it's nice enough for us to let them see it again. Isn't that really nice?
Well, we did have a lot of requests to see it again.
See, a minute. Say it again. You had how many requests? Millions.
I didn't count them, but
a lot, right?
Yeah, Michael.
Okay.
A lot. All right, ladies and
double teaming. Double teaming, a title match. Now, how can a father let his son get double teamed like that? What kind of father? He won't win Father of the Year in my book.
Well, I don't think that's really a big concern of Tommy Gilbert. I'm glad to see him out there because I know it's going to be right down the middle.
Hey, I would appreciate that, but it's not down the middle. He just let him double team his own son. Sunset flip could be it. Well, I tell you, Eddie has had some tough goings. Came out here last week, tried to buy off. He did buy off a match, went against Bret Sawyer, and there came that upset again. You never know.
His own arrogance cost him the match because Bret Sawyer is no one to take lightly. No doubt about that.
Nobody in the UWF is anybody to take lightly.
That's true. That's a good point.
It goes for a turnbuckle. Whoa! Flying body press off the corner. 1, 2. Well, I think Eddie's seen his last days. There's a legal tag, but why don't he get out? All right, I'll go for that. Legal side headlock by Fulton. Need to get Sting in there, Eddie. He's got Sting in there.
Sting at 270.
Power man. Now you're going to see how a headlock feels, little boy.
Sting is massive, and he has improved immensely with Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
You know, I think he's improved a lot since he got away from his partner, the one that ran, because now Eddie has been able to concentrate all his expertise in it. Look at that. Look at that, pounding his face and getting nowhere. See that? Eddie has fired him up and been able to work with him solely and not had to worry about the other guy, and you have seen it in his wrestling abilities the last couple of weeks. Look how he shot him in that turnbuckle. Whoa!
Whoa! Sting!
Whoa!
Man, he was in the air. This guy's got tremendous leaping ability.
That's a smart move. Get out. He knew he was down. There. Another right hand right to the... Look at that. And Tommy Gilbert's doing nothing about it.
There's not a lot you can do when there's all 4 men in there.
There are 4 going at it now. Aha, now see what happens when Gilbert uses the right hand. Boom, down you go. Sting's, they're going to shoot them together, Jim. No, reverse.
They sure did shoot them together.
They reversed it. The Fantastics, double drop kick. Sting's down, he's out. They're double teaming on Eddie. Here's their patented move, the press. Whoa, Sting hit. He hit Bobby Fulton with a shoulder, and it took Tommy Gilbert out.
And they're all out the ring, and Rogers has Eddie Gilbert pinned. He had him pinned.
No, he doesn't, because there's nobody counting it. See, Tommy Gilbert wanted to come out and make himself a big hero, and he got bumped out. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Wait, I think I see Carl Fergie on the way. Carl Fergie's on the way. This match is still going on. He blocked a right. He come back with 2 of them. Rogers has got Gilbert going. Shoulder tackle. A left, a right. Another right. Going for a turnbuckle. Gilbert hits. Beautiful move.
And there goes Fergie. And Fergie was knocked down.
Both referees are down. Oh, Gilbert went for a splash. They're all down.
He's got him pinned again.
Yes.
He's got him pinned again.
He's got him.
Why didn't he count?
Well, it's obvious he's down. He's out. When Rogers charged the turnbuckle, Gilbert pushed him up with his feet, and out came Fergie. Both referees are down. You want to talk about excitement? You're seeing it right here.
And now on the outside,
whoa, Lindsay Hyatt.
She just hammered him with that purse.
No, I think she was just saying hello.
No, she didn't say hello. You know better than that, Michael. She hammered him with the purse.
And the flying elbow. He did it. That flying elbow beats everybody.
And look at Gilbert.
Look at Sting is holding off to Bobby Fulton. Boy, he has no business being in there. We got new champions. We've got brand new champions.
She hit him with a purse.
No, I think she was saying hello and good luck. I didn't see the purse. You may be right. I don't know. All I know is that big elbow that Eddie Gilbert knows how to use. Just put the Fantastics on Fantastic.
Crowd is shocked, and we've got new UWF Tag Team Champions. Missy Hyatt is happy.
Hot Stuff International is back on top of the world. This reunion between him, not a reunion, a collaboration between Hyatt and Gilbert has resulted in the Fantastics finally being dethroned.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with more UWF action after this timeout. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Universal Wrestling Federation. The crowd is still in shock with the new UWF Tag Team Champions.
And what an elbow that was by Eddie Gilbert.
Yeah, what a purse by Missy Hyatt. We're gonna look at this situation a little bit closer. Also, a great opportunity for you nonprofit groups and organizations. That information there that we hope that you take advantage of. Ladies and gentlemen, we have had an abnormally large number of requests.
Come on, it's more than large.
The boys are back in town.
Humongous, right? I told everybody that we would put out great rock and roll, and like I said before, I've never surrounded myself with better talent than I did with Ricky Medlock, Ricky Phillips, Jimmy Papa. The only time I've ever been surrounded by better talent is with my brothers in the ring, and that's why it's such a fantastic video. I know everybody wants to see it again.
Well, they had the tape ready, the video ready, but we forgot that it's also produced by Joel Watts, ladies and gentlemen. So
what?
We're ready.
What do you mean produced by Joel Watts? Joel Watts didn't produce that. Grand Theft Productions produced that.
Well, it says right here on my sheet that it's produced by Joel Watts.
Get out of it. Isn't that just like a Watts? They can't fight. They see something hot. They know the record and the album's going to go, so he tries to jump on the bandwagon. Get out of here.
The boys are back in town.
Just forget it. You and your father.
Changed and much to say, but man, I still think that cats are crazy. They were asking if you were around, how you was, where you could be found. Told them you were living downtown, driving all the old men crazy. The boys are back in town, boys are back in town. I said the boys are back in town, boys are back in town. Chick used to dance a lot. Every night she'd be on the floor shaking what she got. Man, when I tell you she was cool, she was red hot. Oh, I mean, she was steaming. And that time over Johnny's place, well, that chick got up and she slapped Johnny's face. Man, we just fell about the place. If that chick don't want to know, forget her. The boys are back in town. Boys are back in town. Back in town. The boys are 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 back in town. flow and the blood will spill. And if the boys wanna fight, you better let them. That jukebox over in the corner blasting out my favorite song. Nights are getting warmer, it won't be long. Won't be long before summer comes. Now that the boys are here again. The boys are back in town, boys are back in town. I said the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town, boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town.
Crazy! That's ridiculous, Jim Watt. Jim Watts, Ross, the whole thing. That is not a rip-off. I'm going to my lawyers. I'm going to my managers. We're going to see something in court, man. Let me tell you something, Joe Watts. I know your father was behind this. Don't you dare make fun of our rock and roll career. Don't you dare make fun of anything we do. I've had it. I'm leaving.
Well, that's fine with me. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Hayes, so long and good riddance.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing from Detroit, Michigan. I'm sorry, sir, but you don't understand something. I have acquired this man's contract. This man now wrestles for Hot Stuff Universal Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champion International. Ladies and gentlemen, at 260 pounds, from Bobby Singer's hometown of Detroit, Michigan, Rick Steiner. His opponent from Vicksburg, Mississippi at 230 pounds, Ken Massey. Go ahead, do what you want to say. This match, one fall or 10-minute time limit.
Well, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert will probably sleep with that belt on. And he has purchased, as you heard, the contract of the Hammer, Rick Steiner, the All-American from Michigan. And Steiner is an animal. I want to tell you, he does some things in the weight room, as you saw, that are scary. This man doesn't even know how strong he is. And that clothesline almost beheaded Ken Massey. And I'll tell you, if Steiner can improve as rapidly as Gilbert has accelerated the improvement of Blade Runner, or Sting, doesn't want to be called Blade Runner or anything, that's the thing of the past, then he is going to be an awesome force. He is physically awesome now, as he is kicking, literally kicking the head off of Ken Massey. Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, as arrogant as anyone in wrestling. Steiner now with that bear hug, and he's got it locked. And I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, he's one of the strongest men in pro wrestling today. Belly to belly suplex. He learned that at Michigan University. He was an All-American there. He hails from right outside Detroit, and he is solid as the automobiles they build there in Michigan. Steiner with a power slam. Complete 360 with Ken Massey, and Massey has just been devastated, ladies and gentlemen, by that stallion. Rick Steiner, along with Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, they're going to be a force. Look at him. He is a true athlete, and we will be back. The Birdman against Giant Kamala. Hacksaw Duggan and Akbar will both be at ringside when we come back.
Ladies and gentlemen, accompanied by General Skandor Akbar from Devastation Incorporated, 409 pounds, Kamala, the Ugandan Warrior.
He is a phenomenal athlete. Don't ever discount that. A savage. And General Skandor Akbar, the devious, sick individual that controls him. As we hear the music, quite a contrast in musical preferences. as Koko Ware will be coming to the ring momentarily with a saw. The big man from Glens Falls, New York, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, will be at ringside, and he will keep an eye on General Skandar Akbar, no doubt about it. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, next week here on the UWF, it'll be Terry Bam Bam Gordy against Hacksaw Duggan for the UWF Heavyweight Championship, and we'll have a new video, a premiere video on Dr. S.C. Williams and Ted DiBiase right here next week on the program. But now let's turn our attention to the ring. Koko Ware, one of the biggest tests of his career, the Birdman. Everybody gets into the act. Mike Wilson and Hacksaw Duggan. All right.
Introducing from Union City, Tennessee at 230 pounds, the Birdman, Koko B. Ware. Also in his corner, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. This match, one fall, television time.
Well, Hacksaw Duggan said he was here to keep an eye on General Skandar Akbar, because Koko Ware wants it one-on-one. I don't know if Kamala comprehends what... Kamala has had so many wars with Hacksaw Duggan, I'm not sure he even knows where to direct his attention. This man is a savage. Akbar has completely controlled this man for years and years, and he has built this man to one of the most devastating forces in professional wrestling today. It's just another tremendous crowd, and I don't want to wear that point out, but we are so thankful for the great crowd. We get great crowds wherever we are, and we certainly appreciate the attendance. UWF action is great on television, but it is no comparison to be in your arena seeing UWF action live. Koko Ware, the Birdman, will have to move. He'll have to juke and jive because Kamala 409, and Kamala, Koko doing the bird, and he has got Kamala obviously bewildered. And there's a poke. You gotta float like a butterfly, as Muhammad Ali said, and sting like a bee, but don't get caught in the corner. Kamala is about 6'5", 409. I don't know what scales they weighed him on. I would certainly attest that he would at least weigh 409. And Koko Ware, there's General Skandar Akbar communicating with Kamala, and no one has ever been able to master that. I think that's to Akbar's credit. That's Kamala stalking, like he would stalk an animal, but Koko Ware moving out of the way very quickly. We don't have a lot of time here, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Universal Wrestling Federation. Obviously, we'll keep it with you as long as we can. Now Koko Ware is in the corner, but he moves out of the way. And look, Koko Ware with the arm drag, and he took Kamala down the second time. And Kamala is bewildered and confused. And the Birdman. Hacksaw Duggan. And look at Kamala, look at the look on his face. If you can stand to glance at it for just a little while, I mean, he's like, what do I do now? Because Koko Ware's got a game plan that's working. Now back in the corner, this is a dangerous spot for Koko to be in. And Kamala, methodical, and Koko Ware with a drop kick, and Kamala is reeling. Koko Ware with another drop kick. The rope saved Kamala from going all the way out. There's General Skandar Akbar, and Duggan, boom, right hand, and Kamala seizing the moment on Koko Ware. Duggan hammered General Skandar Akbar right in his face. I don't think it'll hurt his looks, but Akbar was certainly taught a lesson there to stay out of the match. And Akbar, to see at the bottom of the screen, is leaving. Akbar is leaving the ringside area, leaving Kamala there alone. We're just about out of time right here, and I see Akbar right down here by me. He's bringing the one-man gang to the ring. Akbar is bringing the one-man gang. Duggan's there. here. It's going to break loose, and we're out of time. Duggan sees the game. We'll be back next week on the Universal Wrestling Federation.